Yo, what is up guys? It's me, Zach Lee, and I told you guys that I would be coming back with some more in-depth thoughts on this whole Carmelo Anthony to the Oklahoma City trade. It's been about 24 hours since the trade was announced. Since we found out that Carmelo with the hoodie would be joining Paul George and Russell Westbrook in Oklahoma City. And in these 24 hours, I have had plenty of time to gather my thoughts as well as see what some other people have been saying about this trade so far. A lot of people are hyped. To no one's surprise, there is a lot of hype going around the Oklahoma City Thunder right now. This happens almost every single time a major trade goes down. Remember when the hype was around the Minnesota Timberwolves? Now it's around OKC. The hype train constantly moves. People are right to be excited about this Thunder team. Yet another contender has been added to the Western Conference. I had to put the quotes around contender because while they do have the talent to be considered contenders, we haven't seen them play yet, so it's kind of hard to say for sure whether or not they will be contenders. People are hyped about this trade though. Some bandwagons who packed up and went to Golden State after KD joined the Warriors last summer are looking back wondering if it's time to hop ships back to Oklahoma City. People are hyped, but not everyone. There are some people who are doubting how this will work out, saying that you have Paul George, Russell Westbrook, and Carmelo Anthony on the same team. Am I missing something, or are the Thunder going to be allowed to play with 3 balls this upcoming season? There ain't no way all 3 of those guys can play together on the same team at the same time. There is no way that a team can bring in a bunch of guys who are used to being #1 options on their old team, bring them together, and expect it to work. That's the doubt that a lot of people have. And also, when the people who are excited about this trade say something like they're happy that Russell Westbrook has help this year, they will turn around and say it's not like he hasn't had help before. Of course, it wasn't too long ago that he had Kevin Durant, a top 5 player in the NBA, playing alongside him. Earlier in his career, he had James Harden and Kevin Durant. Now, I don't like people saying that he had Kevin Durant so he already had help, but I despise it even more when they say that he had James Harden and Kevin Durant and still couldn't get it done, so why should he be able to get it done now that he has Carmelo Anthony and Paul George? I can give some merit to people questioning the fit because I don't even know how they're going to fit together, how their offense is going to look on the court. But that one where they say James Harden and Kevin Durant were helping Russell Westbrook back in the day, I cannot take that argument seriously at all because that was back in 2012. 2012, 5 years ago, nearly 6. How old was Russell Westbrook 5 years ago? He's 28 now. He was 23. How old was James Harden 5 years ago? He's 28 now too. He was 23 back then. How old was Kevin Durant back in 2012 when the Oklahoma City Thunder made it to the NBA Finals? He is also 28 right now, so he was 23 back then. So you're trying to tell me that because a 23-year-old Russell Westbrook, a 23-year-old James Harden, and a 23-year-old Kevin Durant did not beat the Miami Heat, who had LeBron James, Chris Bosh, and Dwayne Wade all in their primes, that it's too much to expect Russell Westbrook to be able to do something with Carmelo Anthony and Paul George because he had help back then. So this isn't the first time he's had help. He's proved that he couldn't do anything when he had help back then. So why should that change now? He was 23. James Harden wasn't nearly the same player. Russell Westbrook wasn't nearly the same player. Kevin Durant was great back then, but he still wasn't as great as he is now. You can't seriously tell me that you're holding that against him. That he lost in the NBA Finals to the Miami Heat back in 2012 when he had James Harden and Kevin Durant on the same team. That's like expecting the Minnesota Timberwolves to beat the Golden State Warriors this year. If that doesn't happen, you say, well, that's it for Karl Anthony Towns. This is as much help as he's ever gonna get. He had Andrew Wiggins, Jimmy Butler, and Jeff Teague and still couldn't get it done. Oh, he will never win a championship. That's exactly what you are saying, which is ridiculous. I just really don't like that argument of people saying that Russell Westbrook had help in the past, So how is this time any different? It is different. It's very, very different. And then back in 2015, when Russell Westbrook had Kevin Durant, he had help. Yeah, he had help in Kevin Durant, and we saw how good the Thunder were when they had Kevin Durant. They were only one game, not even a game. They were a couple of possessions away from upsetting the Golden State Warriors and making it to the NBA Finals with just Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant. They didn't have much other help other than Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook. Even Kevin Durant admitted this when he accidentally slipped up on Twitter. You can say what you want about KD, but the thing he did not lie about was you take him and you take Westbrook off that team, and what else did you have? They couldn't win a ring with that supporting cast. Now though, you have Russell Westbrook, you have Paul George, and Carmelo with the hoodie. Now PG-13 and Carmelo with the hoodie might not be as good as Kevin Durant, but they are no pushovers either. And let's talk about these two guys for a second here. Paul George, what was it, like 3 or 4 years ago when he had that Pacers team battling it out against LeBron James and his Miami Heat, taking him to Game 7. And I'm gonna be honest, one of those times it looked like the Indiana Pacers would've, should've, or could've won had Frank Vogel not taken out Roy Hibbert in the game's final possession. We all know what happened after that. LeBron James drove to the rim, got the easiest layup of his life. I still have no clue why Roy Hibbert wasn't in the game. The Pacers very well could have won that series had it not been for that. And had it not been for Paul George's unfortunate leg injury while playing for Team USA, maybe the Pacers would have gotten to the finals by now. The Pacers were a really solid team, a great defensive team, limited offense, but a phenomenal defensive team. This year's Thunder team has what it takes to also be a phenomenal defensive team. When you have Andre Roberson, Paul George, and Steven Adams in the starting lineup, of course you have what it takes to be one of the best defensive teams in the NBA. And then you add in the offense of Russell Westbrook, Paul George, and Carmelo Anthony, and you for sure have what it takes to be a great scoring team too. So that makes them even better than that Pacers team was back then. Paul George has never had the type of help he will have with Russell Westbrook and Carmelo Anthony. He has never had anyone on his team where he could rely on to carry the scoring load since he became a star himself. And then you have Carmelo Anthony, who, like Paul George, has never had this much help on one team. He has never been able to play with people as dynamic as Russell Westbrook and Paul George. The closest thing he had was Chauncey Billups, who was already on his way out of his prime by the time he got to Denver, and then Allen Iverson, where it was the same thing. Now AI could of course still get you 20 to 25 points, but he wasn't the same Allen Iverson that he was in Philly. Now though, he's got a guy who a lot of people consider to be a top 5 player in the NBA and one of the best small forward slash best two-way players in the NBA by his side, which is amazing for Carmelo Anthony because he no longer has to worry about trying to carry the offense. He doesn't have to be the #1 option. He's not gonna have to force up, chuck up shot after shot after shot in order to get his team to try and win a game. He can be the third option. Having Carmelo Anthony as a third option is scary out of your mind. If that doesn't scare you, I honestly don't know what will. Say what you want about Carmelo with the hoodie, but the dude is still a walking bucket. He's a guy where if he gets hot, it's lights out for the other team. Simple as that. There is nothing a team can do to stop Melo when he gets hot. If he heats up, it's a wrap, game's over. Same thing for Paul George, of course, and then same thing for Russell Westbrook. You have 3 players like that on the same team, you're gonna win some games by default. All that being said though, we all know that this is going to take sacrifice from all 3 of those guys. None of those guys will be able to play the type of basketball they were playing last year. It's gonna take sacrifice. They're gonna have to give up shots, go possessions without even touching the ball. But just like we know this, I mean, come on, they know this too. It's not that hard to figure out. Westbrook knows that he can't play the same way he was last year. Paul George knows he can't play the same way he was last year. Carmelo Anthony knows he can't play the same way he was last year. They have to move the ball and keep defense on their toes. Playing one-on-one, they might win some games, but not a championship because it only makes things easier for the defense. If you're going ISO, defenses don't have to worry about the other guys nearly as much. If you're moving the ball, then all 3 of them become serious threats, and no team can stop Carmelo Anthony, Paul George, and Russell Westbrook when the ball is moving. However, once again, if they go ISO, then they're only making it harder on themselves and easier on the defenses. This team has what it takes to be freaking amazing. They have all the pieces, they have the defense, they have the offense, they have everything you could want. What it all comes down now is to execution. This is where I kind of worry about Billy Donovan, but we'll just have to wait and see if he can be the right coach for the job. But I'm just excited to see this team play. What do you guys think though? Do you think that this is gonna work out? Do you think that Paul George, Carmelo Anthony, and Russell Westbrook will find a way to make it work on the court? Let me know down in the comment section below, but that's gonna do it for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to smack that like button and subscribe for more daily NBA videos. And until tomorrow, keep getting them buckets, Team SDC, and I'm out of here. Peace!